Yes, indeed. I hope you're all doing well in the life. Peace, 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 family. Hopefully, we have a nice, smooth, healthy, harmonious live this evening. I'm excited to get into this topic, chakras. Now, this is a topic I wanted to talk about, let's say, over the last several weeks. But life's been lifing, so I haven't quite had the opportunity to get on this platform and bring up this very, very interesting idea. The chakras are demonic. Ooh, does that make me a demon? Hopefully, we're not having any sound issues, any picture issues, any connection issues. Hopefully, we're nice and clear in the visual. If we're having any issues in the bottom, please let me know before we get started. Also, if you could drop the name of the city you connected from, I greatly appreciate knowing where we're connecting to. Also, for those of you who jumped in the live as soon as I go live, I really appreciate y'all. I know I don't often come on this platform very consistent at a scheduled time frame. Hopefully, I'm not adding to the level of disappointment that comes in life. I'm actually really connecting with people on a day-to-day basis. I'm not just on a digital platform talking about ideologies that sometimes don't belong to me. I'm actually engaging with people, trying to figure out solutions and what's happening on an internal level. So hopefully you're patient enough to realize I'm not up here as much as I want to be, but I'm up here as much as I need to be. But thank y'all for letting me know. We nice and clear. What we got? What we got? We got the prices right in the building. Peace, family. Welcome on in. Sunflower. Shouts out to the tribe. Welcome on in. Miss Missy, 1366. Let's go. Mrs. Ocean's Love. Shouts out to New Orleans. All right. Back to the Future. All right. Let's go. Sounds like I'm clear. We got LA in the building. We got Salt Lake City in the building. We got the UK in the building. We got Houston in the building. All right. Perfect. 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 We have Sherry in the building. Shouts out to the members on this channel. Y'all keep this channel afloat. I promise you, you do. We're about to get into this topic. I think I spilled a little tea. Illinois is in the building. Shouts out to Illinois. Now, let me ask y'all a question real fast. Any of y'all been on this platform, let's say about 2 years ago with me, 3 years ago? There was a time where I used to do the infamous "Welcome on in," and I used to be able to show videos and things on my screen, sometimes do reactions, sometimes offer my insight into like real-time experiences or real-time events. Do y'all remember that time frame? For those of y'all who listen to this at a later time, just say, yeah, I remember old format Q. You know, it's considered an older format. But I'm curious if y'all still remember that format. Well, let me just give y'all a little insight. That room that I was using to be able to produce that type of content, I offered that to my son. Now, my son was staying with me about a year. It's been about a year, and I offered him that space for about a year, and he actually decided to go back with his mom. He felt like a father's touch was a little too much pressure for him. So he's grown, so he decided to go back. He's 18 now. He decided to go back with his mom. We made sure we got everything we needed to do while he was here. So my point is, we have a space opening back up again. All right. And I'm going to be able to bring that format back. I'm going to be able to bring that format back. I'm going to hurry up. I don't want to take too much time from this live. Okay. Welcome to today's topic at hand. Chakras. Chakras. Shock. Ra. Now, if you understand Egyptology, they explain that Ra associates to the Father. That Ra always also associates to light or the sun. That it also associates to information. Now, it's such an interesting topic in 2026. Data centers. Data centers being placed all around the globe so that they can store information. Well, I'm here to tell you that you have data centers as well. And these data centers are highly associated to chakras, are highly associated to focal points that store information. Now, I'm going to give you a very interesting email that I received recently. Let me ask you a question. If you got paid $30 an hour to train an AI, would you take it? It's 50 of you present right now, 7 minutes in. I want to ask y'all. Some of you are more common on this platform. Some of you are new here. But I want to ask you a question. If you got paid $30 an hour to train AI, would you do it? And if so, why? And if not, why? All right. Divine Dynasty 222. Hell nah. Hell nah. Said no. I'm not training no damn AI. All right. Why not, Tribe? Say yes. I want to know why though. All right. Pink 2183 said nah. I have a gut. Kind of signifying that something just don't feel right when it comes to the training of AI. I'll take it. Okay. All right. Uh Child or is the stream? No. It destroys the environment. I'll take that. It does have an immediate effect on the environment that tends to be observed. But I want you to know a bad attitude affects the environment as well. It may not be as immediate, but you having an attitude all day or you being stuck to device, it doesn't matter. My point is, there's different things that affect the environment. But I'll take it. No. No, I'm not training no damn AI for $30 an hour. It's messing the environment up. I'll take it. All right, let me hear what else y'all saying. All right. Logan said 30 is too low. Oh, he negotiated. Logan said, I'm negotiating. I'm worth more than $30. You trained AI before? Like, how do you set your president? Like, no, 30 is too low. I've done such and such, so I deserve such and such. It's interesting because, we'll sit here and say we deserve something, but don't have anything to really validate what we claim to deserve. This is what I was trying to get to, and I'm happy I have someone who knows the thing. Mike Buddha said, we do it already for free. Low key, if you use if you use AI every day. Well, what if I was to tell you that they have been harvesting your data since 2006, and you have been feeding AI for 2 decades? And for 2 decades, you have been feeding AI so that you can have access to, let's say, rather expensive things that they're willing to give you for a reduced price. Now, this goes extensive. Electric cars fall under this. Electric toothbrushes fall under this. If you have an electric toothbrush that is not Wi-Fi enabled, I want you to understand that that information is going to some type of AI. And you've paid for this. You wanted the most expensive electric toothbrush. Now, not all of you, but I just want you to understand this concept that you have been doing this and actually paying them. And now we're at a time now where these companies are saying, hey, what if we can pay you? So there are several companies that are actually offering anywhere between $15 to $30 an hour to train AI. Just want you to know. Now, I asked that because I wanted to know where people were right now with this idea. Now I'm going to ask one more question, and this is more for like homeowners. Chid or I streams that every time you accept cookies, they take your data. It's a good point. It's a good point. And you're not getting anything from that but an experience, but a scrolling experience. It's called scrolling, associated to scrying. But let's just slow down. Okay. All right. Homeowners. If a company said, I'll pay your electricity. Now, keep in mind, I have been on this platform for almost 7 years. And one of the most important things I did on this platform was try to prepare people. Preparing people is very important for me. I believe in the philosophy of if I don't take care of my neighbor won't take care of me. Essentially, where if my neighbor's weeds aren't addressed, his weeds end up coming on over to my grass. Now, I never owned a house until my mid 30s. So I never really understood that analogy until I experienced it in real time. But you can sit there and ignore your neighbors and ignore their property, ignore their problems, ignore their stuff, but eventually it spills over to you. And this neighbor concept goes to life. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, all right? Because I said that this is possible, that you will own nothing and love it. And during that concept, you're going to have companies that are going to pay you, okay? Not you pay them. These companies will pay you for data. Now, when I said this a long time ago, people probably didn't really understand it, and they were just like, okay, they're gonna pay me for information. Well, I guess I need to go to school, or I guess I need to learn something so that they can pay me for this information. That's not what I said. I didn't say they're gonna pay you for information. I said they're gonna pay you for data. So they've just announced that there are companies that are rolling out this year a program for homeowners to have free electricity, to have free internet, and to get paid up to $22,000 a year to have a mini data center right next to their home. So, you know how you have your AC units? Imagine having a data center right next to your AC units. You doing it? I'm just curious. We're going to get into this live. I'm just curious where we're at right now as a society. I mean, I'm only able to gauge 50, 60 people at the moment, but that's a small consensus. Would you do it? Just store information. It's a data farm right next to your house. Q said they're pushing these incentive smart homes in California. hmm Lloyd said, no, I'm not doing it. Tell me why. See, the universe needs specifics, y'all. The devil is in the details. You're in a very devilish construct. We're getting into that. But why? Why wouldn't you do it? See, I know if y'all want me just to get into this video. I mean, I could just get into the topic. I can. But you don't think this is something we should slow down as a community and figure out where we're at? All right, here we go. All right. Here's some more additional details. Sabrina says smart homes and smart 15-minute cities and mega data centers. Okay. All right. I want the question answered, but I'll take it. Sunflower said no, because in the long run, it'll harm the neighborhood. Like gangs, like turf wars, like taxes going up. I mean, I could give you a lot of examples of things that destroy the neighborhood. The reason why I'm saying this is because we've been through things that destroy the neighborhood. Did that stop anything? No. And there are some people who got rich during the destruction of said neighborhood. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm not being devil's advocate, but I am making sure we think as extensive and expansive as possible. Because I haven't even heard one of the most important things we should be talking about. All right. Harmonic Convergence says, I appreciate your post. Thank you for checking in on this channel and my posts. Thank you. Appreciate you. L.O. Shun said, no, I don't want it at all. Why? 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 Why not? I'm not pushing it. I just want to know. We don't do well communicating. It's like, okay, I don't want it. Okay, why? uh, it's okay to give more context. Pink 2183. All right, this is their why. Because the more people allow, the more it will take over. Okay. Signifying that AI doesn't have a level of control now? Whether we participate in it or not, let me ask you a question. If no one participated in AI right now, do you think it fades away? I know I'm asking y'all a lot of questions. Let me ask y'all this one time. If no more humans participate in AI right now, well, no, I won't say no more humans. If everyday people do not use AI right now, do you think it goes away? Everyday people. Right now, everyday people is using a DARPA tool. Please understand that this was something crafted by DARPA. You do know what DARPA is. DARPA is a black budget construct associated to the government that uses black budget funding to create technology that can be anywhere between 25 to 300 years in the future. It's hard to say. But DARPA gave you your internet. DARPA gave you your Facebook. DARPA gave you a lot of these things that were literally steps to artificial intelligence. And you think because you're at like step 7, you could be like, I don't want it no more. But you done took step 1 through 6. You done gave up the cash. You done accepted the payment plans. You done did all these other steps that were associated to AI. But now that the AI threat is here, you're like, no, I don't want to do it no more. Just something to think about. All right. No, I don't think it fades away. I think finds a way to get our attention. Just gets louder. It's a good point. No, because I value my health and my family and neighbors' health. I don't know what it can do to our health. Melinda, I love that. I love that. I wish we had that same attitude in 2020 to 2023 when people were getting you know what I'm saying? Okay. I love I love it. I love it. Sabrina, no, it won't. It always been working in the background. Okay. So it ain't gonna fade away if the average everyday people are not involved with it. All right. All right. But now think about what happens when the average everyday person deals with it. We're giving it a new narrative. We're teaching it something different that it normally would only get from elites. So you're running from something that the gods, that the elites mess with, but are ye not gods? Just a thought. Just a thought. Just a thought. Make sure you hit that like button. $sign Q Reaves if you're feeling generous. I only ask for $1 on this platform. Please stay balanced in the life. All right. They will say it's optimism for the good of most society. No, it's a black box data. All right. And then, great point, Q. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's get to the next part. No, because I value my health and my family and neighbors' health. I don't know what it can do to our health. All right. Have you heard of EMF, electromagnetic frequency? All right. I did a video about this recently that everything gives off an electromagnetic pulse, frequency, wave, sphere. We're going to get into it, but resonance. All right. Everything that has a power source gives off a resonance. And then not only does it give off a power source, it then could be receiving and sending out signals. Now, this is your router, this is your cell phone, this is your 5G towers. There's various things that is uploading and downloading all around you. And I want you to understand, have you ever went up and down stairs? You know how it exhausts you? You get exhausted going up and down? Well, that's what's happening to society right now. A lot of society is feeling this wave of ups and downs, of highs and lows, happy one moment, sad the next, good one moment, not good the next moment. Oh man, such a shift, such a wave. It's literally because of these uploads and downloads, the frequencies all around us. So, what could be done? What can be done? What can be done? Nate, you didn't miss too much. I didn't even start the chakra conversation yet. But this is what can be done. All right. First, let's take off the hoodie. Yeah, let me turn this fan on. Hold on. I get worked up. All right. What are one of the things we should be doing? Figuring out how to biohack. Family. Biohack. 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 This is what you want to figure out. How do you biology, biological organism, how do you hack your body? Okay? If there's signals all around you that is hacking you, then you need to figure out how to shield yourself. So, what are one of the ways that you can shield yourself from electromagnetic frequency? Well, one, gold and silver. You think this was written about in the Bible and in the ancient world? This was just something that was just because it's shiny and it looks good. No, it has to do with the conductivity associated with these metals. Now, if you're trying to shine brighter, you put gold on. If you're trying to shield oneself, you wear silver. All right? So, getting into some silver pieces can actually help your body deal with electromagnetic frequency. Well, guess what, family? Not only are you able to get silver in metal form, they have created silver in fabric form. Do you see this? Do you see this? No, family, this is not polyester. Do you see this? My bad. This is an EMF blocking t-shirt. Okay? I done brought the meter just to make sure it can really block. When I go to sleep at night, guess where all my devices go? Under this t-shirt. So I'm not even feeling them devices while I'm asleep. So why am I saying that? Because there are things out here to mediate some of these things. For example, all right, I said, you know what? There's this app out here that's paying you $30 an hour to train AI. I want to try it for a week. I start doing it and I start feeling all of the anxiety because you have to wear a chest mount of keeping a phone close. I'm like, nah, I can't do this. So I'm starting to put on, my crystals, my silver, and I'm like, okay, that helps. But it starts to hit into stuff. It starts getting bulky. It starts making it very difficult for me to do the job. So I said, all right, well, if they're willing to pay me $30 an hour to teach AI, I could afford a $90 t-shirt that can potentially protect me from training this AI. But what if I say I don't even want to train this AI next week? I'm spontaneous. I do what I want. One week I may say I'm training AI, and the next week I may say I'm not willing to do that anymore. Guess what? That's part of being human. That's part of existing. That's part of experiencing. Not lack of experience. Experience and then conclude if that experience is for you or not. And guess what? Now I got a shirt that blocks EMF frequencies, even if I ain't on no damn AI. When I'm just moving around, I sleep with it now because I can feel the difference. My point is, I would have never brought no $90 silver infused t-shirt just because it's blocking some EMF waves. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. But the AI job forced me to participate and believe it. All right, so let's get into this topic, chakras. All right, so sorry for that. 27 minutes in, sheesh, it'd be like that. Chakras. All right, I just want y'all to know if there is an in, there is an out. If there is something trying to back you into the corner, please know there's something in that corner that can help you get out. But you're too busy panicking at what's coming at you instead of slowing down and seeing all the possibilities around you. All right. Shocked Roz. All right. Very interesting concept. To begin this idea, it is very important for us to be able to break down this idea. Organic intelligence versus inorganic intelligence. Now, they're not going to use the word inorganic intelligence because that's triggering. So they decided to change the word to artificial intelligence. So we have two forms of intelligence: organic intelligence, artificial intelligence. Let's talk about organic intelligence. All right. Have you ever heard of a job called tracking? This would be when various colonizing tribes will come to the Americas, not very familiar with the terrain, and they will hire individuals to help them track whoever they're seeking, gathering people, a great leader, whatever it is. It's a tracker. And a tracker is really good at tracking and can go into nature and can see a little bush broken, and that is the direction, and this little dirt being moved, and that's the direction. That is called organic intelligence. It is being able to read nature and gain information. Imagine, like, whoa, bro, are you saying like nature's Google, bro? It is. Nature is Google, bro. And guess what? If you know what to search for, you can explore the Google of nature. But most don't know what to search for, so they're just at the home screen. But when an organic intelligence says, search sea moss, well, then everyone's buying sea moss. You get a artificial intelligence or inorganic intelligence telling you to meditate. Well, guess what? You're learning your nature through an artificial intelligence. You're not learning your nature through natural organic intelligence. Now, organic intelligence are dreams. When you sit here and you get premonitions and ideas and information from dreams, that's organic intelligence. Prophecy, premonitions, oracle reading, divination. I mean, I can give you an infinite amount of examples of organic intelligence. Help me. Give me one. What's organic intelligence? Give me an example. It's 80 of y'all in here. Give me an example of organic intelligence. Y'all got this. Y'all got this. Organic intelligence. And thank you so much, Pauline, for the give and receive. Thank you, Sarita. Thank you so much for the give and receive. And Lucas, thank you so much for the give and receive. Thank you for staying balanced in the life. Don't question, Miss Oceans. A gut feeling is organic intelligence. Do you know why that's so important, Miss Ocean's love? Because that is what we're talking about today. Chakras. And how the chakras is a form of organic intelligence, because one of the gifts of the chakras, or the wishes that are being fulfilled like a genie in a bottle of the chakras, is what we would consider intuition or gut feeling or instinct. Yes. Yes, instinct is organic intelligence. Yes, a gut feeling is organic intelligence. Yes, intuition is organic intelligence. Yes, clairvoyance is organic intelligence. Yes, mushrooms or psychedelics is a form of organic intelligence, because you take those mushrooms and it opens up a barrier in your mind that is preventing you from gaining intelligence that is already there. How about that? How about that? See, many think it's the mushroom that has the information in it. It's not the mushroom. The mushroom's just a key. And the mushroom's job is to open that door in your mind that you consciously have closed. And you have closed this mind, this door, because you're not in control of your mind. And if you're not in control of your mind, you're not in control of your body. And how can I not be in control of my mind? Well, your mind is like a wheel of a car. And I can even explain the chakras in connection to a car. I probably will. But I do want you to understand that your mind, or your third eye, is like the wheel. And sometimes you give others control of your vessel, your vehicle, your willpower. You get it? That's how you get the power. Be behind the wheel. If you're the one behind the wheel, you got the willpower. But if you're giving up the driver's seat, If you're backdooring yourself every time it's trauma, every time it's hard, every time it's etc., 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 well, you know, it gets like that. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let's get these likes up. 90 people present, 56 likes. Let's get these likes up. Some more forms of organic intelligence. Imagination. I love it. Lucid daydreams. I love it. Here's another good one. Fasting. Fasting is a form of organic intelligence. It truly is. It truly is. All right. So now let's get into this video. When I use the word demon, it does something to you, don't it? You ever wonder why? Well, hidden in the word demon is the word moon. Mon. Mun. Demon. Just one O instead of two. Moon. Have any of you ever heard of the Book of Enoch? Let's ask this question. Have any of you ever heard of the Book of Enoch? I will be having this conversation on Moon Day. The Book of Enoch. Have any of you ever heard of this? The Ethiopians, one of the most devout Christians on this planet, still kept his book a part of the original Gospels. Alright? Y'all know what things. Sunflower, yeah. Lori, yes. Sabrina, yes. Sammy Joe, yes. Stray Panther, yes. Dee Dee, yes. Charlemagne, yes. Miss Oceans, yes. This guy, yup. They banned it from the Bible. Lori says, is Enoch an archangel? I think you're trying to spell Metatron. The same, and yes. Yes. All right. In the book of Enoch, Enoch was taken into the heavens. And one of the things he was shown was the opening and the closing of the moon. This is in the book. And in this book, it explains why the moon goes through phases. And what is described is very similar to like gear technology, thousands and thousands of years ago. And I don't know if you understand gear technology, but in order to get the gears in motion, it either needs fluid or sand. Fluid or sand is essential for gear technology. So in order for the moon to actually truly be a gearbox, it either needs sand or water. Now let me ask you a question. Here on Earth, they tell you the moon affects the oceans, pushes and pulls on the waves, which means there has to be some type of device that could potentially be absorbing the water from our planet and it go to the moon. Now this has been talked about, your David Ikes, and they've all talked about how the moon is essentially a way to harvest water, and not just water, but the memory that is associated to the water and what gets stored in water, memory, and what is memory, experiences. So this is, dreams and all types of stuff gets stored in water. Your emotional state, all that stuff is connected to water. There's a lot. But my point is, it is associated to the pushing and pulling of essence, fluid, spiritual essence. It affects your money, It affects your relationships. It's an extensive system what the moon can do. But here's something many don't think about. That's the light side of the moon. What could be going on the dark side of the moon? And on the dark side of the moon, it isn't pointing towards ocean. What is it pointing towards? Dark side of the moon. Where is it pointing towards? This is just if you believe in what science tells you about the spherical rotations of the heavens. But what does the dark side of the moon point towards? Straight Panther said the sun. No, not quite. Not quite. Japan is creating a halo around the moon, by the way, to harness solar energy, and it should be completed by the year 2035. Y'all really don't know? Are y'all serious? Y'all don't know the planets? Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, the moon. What's next? Man, it's hard out here, y'all. No, ain't no damn Saturn. I got y'all. Y'all need visuals. Y'all need visuals. They ain't gonna show it. Y'all answered it. Y'all answered it. But I'm just trying to see if I can really give y'all the proper visual. I can't find a picture. But the answer is Mars. Okay? It's Mars. And Mars is a desert like planet. So it's possible that the moon can be fueled by the waters of Earth and the sands of Mars. Okay? Now, gotta keep going with this. The word demon, D signifies descent, to lower, to step into, like a ship. Okay? In order for something to become grounded, it must descend. So it's essentially signifying something that's above you. And in order for you to access it, it either needs to lower itself or you have to, I guess the word would be hire yourself. Hire. Can you hire me? Interesting choice of words we use. And when you hire yourself, you no longer are controlled. You are kind of face to face. It's not above you. You're not idolizing it. We'll get there. All right. Let's keep going. Let's just slow it down. All right. Demon. Chakras. House demonic presences that come from the moon. Let's start there. Hmm. The chakras store demonic presences that come from the moon. The sun usually signifies shining, illumination, and angels are usually associated to shining and illumination. So it is possible that angelic energies connect to the sun and demonic energies connect to the moon. Now, is there any other evidence that this can be true? All right, well, it's clear the word demon has the word mon in it, or moon in it. So it's not far-fetched to think, well, you know, if I'm saying I'm African, well, then Africa is there. So if I'm saying I'm a demon, moon's there, then it's not far-fetched to think maybe the origin of a demonic presence is the moon. So then, could there be any proof that angel is associated to sun? Well, this one can get a little more complicated because what we consider the father is different amongst different civilizations. If you go to the Norse traditions, their father is Odin. If you go to, let's say, more southern Africa, you're kind of dealing with Obatala as the father. When you're dealing with Egypt, you're dealing with Ra as the father. But all the ones that I just mentioned are not older than the next father I'm about to speak on. This is the original father. This is one of the first fathers ever written down. And his name is Anu, also just known as An. Angle, angel, An. Are the angels a part of Anunnaki? Are the angels a part of Anu? You do take on your father's last name. So we have Anunnaki, which are sun gods, because they are often depicted as shining ones. They've even been listed as shining ones. And then you have the Anunnaki's first creation. Now, we're not going to Christian lore, we're going to Sumerian lore. And Sumerian lore says the God or the Lord didn't create us first. We weren't God's first creation. God's first creation was known as the Agigi. I see you in there. I see you, Sedona. I see you. The Agigis or the Iggies. Now, you also have some cultures that talk about what we would call the Zuzus and the Lulus. And the Zuzus and the Lulus are also kind of explaining this original group of creation. Now, I want you to understand this echoes in everything. This is why science says there are Homo sapiens and Neanderthals. Just so you can understand, this is echoed in everything. The truth is in everything if you slow down. So you're getting Neanderthal and Homo sapien. That's European belief. In a lot of African cultures, you get what we call Zuzus and Lulus, and eventually you get something called a Zulu. And in the Middle East, the Sumerians said you have the Agigi, and then you have Adapu. All right? And Adapu, or Adam, is the same concept. Now, what's really interesting about their stories is they explain how they harvested the native gene pool. What does that mean? They harvested the native gene pool. It's in the text. To craft the Agigi, they harvested the original gene pool, the indigenous gene pool. They did not do that for Adapu. Enki, Lucifer, Poseidon offered his semen for Adam. So we're not talking about half God, half man. We're not talking about Hercules. We're talking about everything Hercules fought. Do you see how it's in everything? You won't have the moonsters. Oh, damn, there's another reference. Hold on. The word monster definitely has the word moon in it. So is it possible that we're dealing with monsters and heroes? And the Anunnaki often wants to depict themselves as the heroes and wants to depict the indigenous people as monsters. Doesn't that sound about normal? Damn, I'm sitting here kind of going through it in myself with you. What the hell? Damn. The demonizing of an indigenous order. All right, let's keep going. So make sure you hit that like button. $Q Reaves if you're feeling generous. Make sure y'all stay balanced in the life. Make sure y'all stay balanced in the life. I know it's hard out here. I only ask for $1. Only ask for $1. Okay. So just stay with me. This is all going to connect. You have the Anunnaki and you have the Agigi. The Agigi are often associated to a reptilian species. Thank you, Kojo, for staying balanced in the life, family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, all right. Thank you, Desmond. My government name is Desmond, but they call me Demon. Damn. It's not a negative thing. It's just the word D doesn't always mean to lower. It also can mean before. So the word demon is also D-man, and it's a title to signify that which came before Adam, that which came before Adapu, that which came before half God, half man. Some of you don't want to play the role of a hero. Who the fuck want to save people all day? Some people want to play the role of a protector. I want you to understand there's a difference between a hero and a protector. A protector tends to protect things that can't protect themselves. It's kind of like when I was growing up in school, we had a kid who was getting bullied. I was taking boxing classes. The kid was getting bullied. Now, I could have fought his fault. I would have been his hero. But I can't save him every time. So to be his protector, to be a protector, because it's not about him, it's about the planet. If I don't address this, His negativity he's experiencing, his trauma he's experiencing is going to reverberate into the atmosphere, into history, into the future. It has effects. So I need to see and deal with what I'm looking at. I need to be solution oriented. Bro, get on the bus with me and you gonna come to this boxing class with me and you go learn how to protect yourself and I'm going to help you by training with you. And I might even beat your ass a couple of times while we training, but that's the role of a protector. Yes, I may beat your ass while I'm protecting you. Sorry. Sorry, I'm not your hero. A ass whooping might happen in protection mode. I'm not your hero. But a hero, you would never think your hero will whoop your ass. Hope you're getting this analogy. You ever hear the saying, don't meet your heroes? Well, maybe it's because you shouldn't be in the frequency of hero. Maybe you should understand the power of protection. So I'm saying this because on this planet there was a protective force. It was known as Tiamat, the great dragon, the great mother, the great matrix, the great womb. There's different terms for her. But there was a protective force. Old world tech, old world tech, dragon energy, kung fu, the ability to levitate. Drunken master, where they be flying from tree to tree. This is old world tech that the indigenous people knew and forgot it to take on the role of a hero. To take on the role of a god or a demigod. There's the better word. To take on the role of a demigod. I want you to understand that we are literally in the realm of demigods and monsters. There is a hero, a Heru, something from Nibheru. Nibheru. There was a Heru, a hero, known as Marduk, who was known for slaying the great dragon, for essentially forcing the Agigi underground. Fuck! We created something and now we don't know how to handle our creation. We need one of our fellow brethren to come and kill off this revolt. What if I was to tell you stories of the Old Testament could be potentially associated to the Agigi? That what you believe to be Babylon was actually a reptilian city. And what was interesting about the Agigi is there were like the Mexicans or like the Asians or like the Indians. I mean, honestly, so many different so many cultures understand the power of working together and helping each other and sticking together, and that's what the Igigi did. And they were trying to reach what you would consider to be godlike intelligence. It has nothing to do with building no tower. It has to do with, are ye not gods? Realizing we have forgotten our divinity. And if we come together, if we work together, we can take on God. We can go up against God. We can go see the Anunnaki. And Marduk came down and dismantled their tongue. I want you to understand a serpent's tongue is also an analogy on what you would consider abracadabra. What I speak, I create. It was essentially a presence that it's like Elon Musk, who comes down and offers all these different technologies, all these different gifts, all these different constructs so that we forget the power of ourselves. That was the point of it. That was the goal of it. To force an Agigi, to force an indigenous people to forget themselves. Now, this keep in mind time resets as well in this great book. But I want you to understand there's a lot more layers to these stories than you may imagine. Now, let's bring it back to chakras. Okay. You are a demigod. Demi. Oh, Demi. Exorcist. Oh, Demi. Let's look up definition of Demi. Interesting, right? Got the word D in it. I don't know. Demi is an old France word. All right. And it comes from Latin, diminutus, which literally means half or part of. Okay? It's like what we would consider to be a mixed person. All right? It's also considered a bridge between two parties, a bridge between two worlds, two systems. Get it? You are a bridge. You are a demi. You're half earth, half God, half heavens. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Guess what? Are ye not gods? Meaning you were there. You may not have been a physical presence in the creation of the heavens, but you were a factor in the creation of heavens. Now, how you was a factor, that's up to you. I know how I factored into the creation of the heavens. That's your own story. You need to figure out how you factored in to the how you were an X factor, maybe, in what we would consider the creation of the heavens. But you were factored in to the creation of the heavens. And guess what? You were factored in the creation of earth. You were there. Here's another word for saying it. You were there. Thank you so much for the give and receive, family. Thank you, Miss Missy, 1366. Thank you so much for the give and receive. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You were there. Just because you don't remember doesn't mean it didn't happen. You were there during the creation of the heavens. You were there during the creation of earth. You're 50-50. You're 50-50. You're 50-50 with the heavens and you're 50-50 with earth. But you ready for this? The heavens did you way more dirty than earth ever has. Think of it like you got two parents. You got heaven, which would be the father, and you got earth, which would be the mother. And the father has abandoned you. The father has not spoken to you. The father has ignored you. You got on your knees. You have prayed. You have shouted. You have hollered. You have done so many things to get the father's attention, and the father has ignored you numerous times. But you can go outside and be like, Mother Earth, I love you. And you may feel a breeze within 10 seconds. You can step outside and be like, Mother Earth, thank you. And you will hear her responding with the birds chirping, with a butterfly landing on your shoulder. You get infamous times. You know Mother Earth holds you down because a bad storm comes to your neighborhood and everyone's power is knocked out but yours. You know Mother Earth loves you when a tornado comes to the neighborhood and your house was saved. I mean, it's a simple concept. You were invested in both. The mother and the father, heaven and earth. You loved both, but the father hurt you to the point where you were like, I don't know if I'm gonna keep sticking up for the father, especially if you keep abusing the mother. And when you, as Hercules, you as a human, you as a hybrid, started to realize, hold on, y'all are hurting this planet. You're hurting my mother. You are hurting half of me. And when you come online and you realize that, they men in black you. Reset. It usually takes about 100 years for you to really realize what's going on. And then when you finally realize what's going on, men in black you. So that you got to try to remember this all over again. So now I'm going to give you the next analogy. Not only are you a human, I want you to think of it like this. The word man means hero. But in order to be a hero, you must, I'm going to use another word. The word man means warrior. But in order for you to be a warrior, you either have to be going to war, at war, or finished with war. But here's the common thread: war. In order for you to truly be a warrior, one must go to battle. One must go to war. Man. So the word in front of man is hue. So who is man at war with? Hue. Do you know what hue is? Light. The rainbow. Isn't that what Lucifer is? Ooh. And if man is at war with light, well, where does man store this light? In their chakras. So man is housing what they're going to war with? For sure. So the warrior is fighting from the inside out? Very much so. Okay. Give me another analogy. I got you. Your body is the hero. Your chakras are the monsters. These monsters are doing what the moon tells it to do. So I'm saying that your chakras are being influenced by the moon. Highly. Extremely. Except one. Except one. Let me help you. When you see the moon produce waves, most just think of the surface. There's a force that is making these waves. And this force isn't just surface. This force penetrates to a core. It's like a phone call. It's like the moon. It's calling the center of the planet. And the center of the planet is responding back. And we're observing communication. And what you think are waves, to a mundane mind, is waves. But when you start realizing, oh wow, cell phone waves, when you start realizing microwaves, when you start realizing everything is kind of waves, then damn. So the moon is talking to the center of the earth, and the center of the earth is where the monsters dwell. Q, whoa, bro, you're putting so many things together. Are y'all catching this? What did the Greeks tell you? Tartarus? The devil? What did they tell you? That's a monster. Looks like a beast. And he is in hell, inner earth, center earth, the core. Monsters in the core of earth. Speaking to the monsters of the moon. And what you consider to be waves It's just the byproduct of celestial communication. Now, if that's happening to the planet, then could the moon be doing the same thing to our core? Yes. So now we have to talk about the chakras and how these chakras essentially have a purpose, an agenda, a job. 79 likes. I want to try to get to 100 likes before this live ends. Hopefully we could get there. Hopefully we could get there. Most do not understand that the planets and your chakras are one and the same. They're associated to each other. And if you're telling me that the chakras and the planets are associated to each other, then how does the sun and the moon play a role? Well, the sun and the moon are celestial spheres, but we're going to focus on the major planets. So the first chakra, it's referred to as the crown. And it reflects the color purple. Now, I want you to understand that these chakras do not stay the same color. They get dark and they get light. They do not stay the same color. They get dark, they get light. For example, you have some of those individuals that be so love and light and everything is peachy and great, and it's almost like a white light. Em- e- they're, they're submerged in white light. This is someone who understands solar expression. Okay? I am the light. I am the way. And walks into every room thinking they are the light. They are the way. LeBron will walk into a room. I am NBA. I am the way the NBA will get their numbers back. Like, this is the video freezing? I don't know if y'all seeing the video. Is the video messing up? Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. All right. Now, when you walk into the room saying that you are the light, just know what comes with that. Leeches. Every single thing you could imagine trying to feed off of your light. And this is someone who you would consider to be chakra alignment. Now, how do you align one chakra? You get one's body into success. And when you can prove to your body you are successful, you are almost proving to your body you are in alignment. Get it? So success can sometimes appear like aligned chakras. Lack of success can sometimes appear unaligned chakras. Q, can you align my chakras? Will a regression align my chakras? Why do you want to get your chakras aligned? Well, I just feel like I'm unsuccessful in life. All right? So, there are what you would consider to be the shining ones. And then you have something known as the watchers. Okay? As a watcher, you need to go dark because you don't want to be seen. You want to observe. Okay? We'll explain that in a second. But then you have those, look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. I'm getting paper. You get it. All right? Shining ones. Lucifer. Elon. Trump. Shining ones. And then you have the ones that's behind the scenes. That you don't really know. You would never know a Epstein if he didn't get caught. The watchers. The ones that fade to black. Now, Trump dance hilarious. Now, I'm saying this because you have to understand this is associated to chakras. In order to be an illuminated one or a shining one, you light up your chakras and it can appear violet, a crown chakra. Your root chakra can appear pink. This is what happens when you go towards the light or the light side, all right, of the chakras. When you start reading people's aura and you start seeing people's Taurus field, you will notice the color fluctuation, which is what animals are able to read as well. So they can tell if you're in a light mood or a dark mood. If your chakras are darker, they know you're kind of not in the happiest, you're in a darker state. If your chakras are lighter, or if your hue, man, if your hue, your light is lighter, then they're kind of seeing you're in a lighter mood, lighten up. You get it. All right. So, the first chakra, the crown chakra. Crown chakra usually associates itself with the color violet to the color purple. Now, the crown chakra associates to the planetary system known as Mercury. Mercury is often depicted by Hermes, but it is also connected to Odin. Now, every day of the week associates to a different planet. Of course, Odin or Woden or Wenden, Wednesday, Wenden comes before his son, Thor Day. Okay? Wednesday is the day of magic. Odin, day of Mercury. Get ships moving. I don't know if you understand how Mercury is used, but it's used in a way of levitating things. Vermonters often depicted the use of Mercury. So Mercury usually is associated to magic. It's usually associated to royalty. It's usually associated to the elitists. It's an elite construct. Hermes is also associated to the emerald tablets. Sometimes it's associated to knowledge being passed down. How is this knowledge being passed down, or is sometimes associated to the knowledge holder? Woden or Odin was often known as all knowing. The all seeing eye is associated to Odin. He sacrificed his eye to get the knowledge of the oracles or the knowledge of the divine feminine. It's interesting if you read the text. He didn't really want the knowledge of the universe. He wanted to know what the women knew and sacrificed his eye. Now, it's not really his eye, it's his phallus, you know. In ancient times, in order for you to be able to learn some of the secrets of being the presence of women, you had to castrate yourself. One eye Willie, you get it, you know. Sacrifice your eye, you can learn the knowledge of a woman. The reason why you also have to sacrifice oneself like that is because you're not allowed to pass this knowledge on to another man. So you would have to castrate yourself so that you wouldn't teach genetically, not just physically teach, you know, a son or whatever. We're talking about genetically. They understand that when you learn something, it gets stored in the genes. So to prevent you from spreading that information, you have to castrate oneself. This is something that happens in the music industry a lot more than you would imagine. There's a guy named Plaque Boy Max. Plaque Boy Max just recently got on live talking about why can't men twerk. But anyway, Plaque Boy Max also said he got a vasectomy. He don't have no kids. Zero kids. Zero kids. A vasectomy. This is because Playboy Max or Plaque Boy Max, which is a play on Playboy, is associated to Venus. Venus associated to Lilith. Lilith has a whole cult of men who castrate themselves to learn the knowledge of Lilith. This is actually seen in the sex world as a small penis humiliation. SPH. Small penis humiliation. SPH. SPH is a very popular fetish amongst the white world where you basically pay a black woman to humiliate you about having a small wee wee, about having a non-existent wee wee. And this is kind of a humiliation ritual or an embarrassment ritual needed to get in the graces of Ashera or Lilith. I shouldn't have told y'all that. Sometimes I be debating what I should talk about and what I shouldn't. All right, so and then that's a good point. Goddess Essence says, and then ironically, Young Thug brings up God on that conversation. There's a clip going around, basically Young Thug yelling at Black Boy Max saying, God won't allow you into heaven because you castrated yourself and God put you here to procreate. Now the reality is, it's really trying to say that there's a presence that does not allow you to gain the benefits of heaven if you did not procreate enough. I want you to understand that these procreations done on the hands of this God, these children being born on behalf of this God becomes, or goddess, let's just say, becomes vessels for this God or goddess to have access to. It's almost like creating an antenna, a receiver, so that it can receive the frequency of this god or goddess. It's a lot to this. Let's just keep going, because I ain't even really get into the chakra videos. So much stuff. I be trying to get y'all to understand so much in the shortest span of time. Okay, all right. So, your crown chakra, some would say, is associated to the sun. It is, because I need you to understand that not only do chakras associate to planets. Plan it. What is it? It is for internal technology. How do you plan internal technology? Well, in order to plan internal technology, you have to have a system that directs it. You'd be like, I thought I'm supposed to direct my own internal technology. You are, but you are being hacked or hijacked, and there's something else that's trying to influence that. So let's keep going. So your crown chakra is associated to the planet known as Mercury. Mercury allows things to levitate, allows things to travel. Mercury is also used for time travel. So this is why it's saying your crown chakra can essentially allow you to ascend. That's the word I want to use. Ascend. So, working with the planetary system known as Mercury, understanding how Mercury influences things, understanding how the color purple is connected to ascension, and working with the color purple, and understanding the tones and hues that come with purple, help you understand what we would consider to be the path to ascension. Now, in order to truly understand this path to ascension, you have to also connect your chakras to organs. Okay? When they were talking about the chakras, they were always talking about data centers or energy centers within the body. And there are organs that symbolize these data centers. Basically, organs that gather up information. You have organs in your body that gathers up information. You have organs in your body that not only gathers up information, you have organs in your body that operate from what we would call miniature electromagnetic frequency deliverers, essentially EMFD. Okay, deliverer. Essentially, it is delivering an electromagnetic frequency. It is uploading and downloading. All right, your chakras are uploading and downloading. Your chakras are sending us your organs. Let's not even use the word chakras. Your organs is sending out a signal and it is receiving a signal. Your organs are sending out a signal and is receiving a signal. When we're talking about chakras, we're talking about organs. And organs house demonic presences. That's how your organs can be demonic. I know it took a long time to get there, but all right, your organs is sending information out and is receiving information. First organ associated to this concept, your crown chakra. What is the organ associated to your crown chakra? That organ is the largest organ on the body. That's why it's the crown. That's why it's sometimes considered the most regal, all right? Because the crown chakra is literally your skin. This is why there are crown wars or race wars, because we are racing to the crown. We're racing to the gold. We're racing to the jewels. It's a race thing. Now, if your skin is this crown chakra, well, then you can realize how certain people with certain skins are going to say they're the royalty. They're going to say they're the crown. They're going to say their skin signifies the crown, signifies the royalty. It's the same thing as saying you're Jewish. You ain't saying you're Jew. Jew is not the same thing as Jewish. Ish means to be like. So if you're Jewish, you're trying to be like the Jews. Anyway, all right. So, what does the skin house? Well, the skin houses what we would consider to be microlife, specifically insects and various natural constructs that tend to be in our environment with us. We just don't tend to acknowledge them because they're extremely small. So, what does our crown or what does our skin house? The micro world. And if you're receiving all this little micro information, you will then tend to, let's say, express it. And that's where all this comes from. All these tattoos, all this stuff, all this stuff signifies the expression that the skin is receiving, the information that the skin is receiving. And it's sometimes important to document what you're receiving. So tattoos were, I don't know what they be doing now, but tattoos were a way of documenting spiritual information. Who said that? Silver Wanderer says tattoos attract evil spirits. Can you give me any insight on why or how that's even possible? I'm explaining how the skin is uploading and downloading information, and when it receives this information, it needs to express it. It's the same thing for like if you're an artist and you kind of get the idea of the art, you need a canvas to express it. It's the same thing. The skin is receiving information and also uploading information, and the goal is to figure out how to retain this information. What's really interesting is when you tattoo something on one's body, it could actually travel with you into your afterlife. I know. But when you deal with the system that doesn't want you to have control of your afterlife, they're going to tell you anything and everything they can to make it as confusing as possible for you in your afterlife so that you just become a good Christian all over again and become a battery source for that religious institution. But what I'm telling you is what you consider to be the identity of oneself or the crown of oneself travels with you into your afterlife. So you might want to use certain markers to help you understand who, what, and where you are. Just a little advice. But if you can give me a little more context on how tattoos attract evil, I will love it. I will love it. Always love a little context, but just blank statements tend to just be what we would consider to be Tourette's, like an emotional outburst. Anyone can say something, but can I feel what you're saying? And I don't think I'm gonna feel what you're saying because you don't feel what you're saying. Just thought. Just thought. So your crown chakra is your skin. And your skin is constantly receiving information. This is why there's little skin antennas all over your body. Now, specifically, why do you have hair? All right. Why do you think the monks cut all their hair off? You got some cultures that believe there's strength or power in your hair. And then you have an Asiatic culture who believes stripping of one's hair is essential. Why do you think they do it? Why do Rastas love marijuana? And what does it do to the chakras? Well, one specifically, marijuana opens up what some would consider to be a closed third eye. Just because you have a chakra doesn't mean it's operating to its capacity. So let's just say we're using the term woke because people's third eyes are starting to wake up. But you ever like wake up right in the morning and your like eyes is kind of like blurry and squinted and you're like kind of like adjusting and kind of trying to like wake up. That's what most people are right now spiritually. Like they kind of see like a little bit of the bullshit. And it's like, okay, I'm kind of getting it, but it's like, yeah, maybe I'm dreaming. Let me go back to sleep. This can't be real. Or let me wake up because I need to go to work. Get it? Like they're not quite there, but they're like, but what happens when you smoke that ganja is like, that's what it do. It make your mind wonder. You are now willing to participate in true sight, in true vision. Too much of it though. Too much of it you get red eyes. Do you understand what that could do? Red eyes is a form of dehydration. That's why they're turning red. So what ends up happening is most people dehydrate themselves from smoking marijuana, and this dehydration leads to dehydrating of one's heart space, which is very dangerous, and dehydrating of one's mind space. So your heart and your mind tends to be drained a little more. You think a lot, or you become paranoid, emotional. So just got balance, got balance. Um, You do tarot card reading. No, I do regression therapy. It's a little bit better than tarot card reading. I show you how you can read yourself by kind of slowing you down and helping you see into what we would call an inner verse, internal. Yo, tarot cards is just reading your subconscious. Scrying or throwing dice and all those different modalities is just trying to read your subconscious. If you get good enough at slowing yourself down and listening to the imagery that shows up to you, you can get the same premise. It actually could be a little bit better because you don't have to go to no modality to get answers on self. You just listen to your selves to get the answer. All right, so let's keep going. So the crown chakra, all right, is your skin. How do you influence the crown? You need to acknowledge what you place on your skin. You can be a king of polyester, of a plastic. You could be a queen of plastic. You're putting plastic on you and you don't think you're sealed off. Plastic's like Tupperware. You're putting Tupperware on you. But your goal is to be able to upload and download. How the hell are you uploading and downloading if you're putting Tupperware on you? How am I uploading? What you talking about? I'm uploading from my skin. What do you think sweat is? What do you think sweat is? There's information in the water. The water evaporates into the air. The air, get it? It's the whole system. Literally, when you sweat, you're uploading. Tattoo some on your skin, you're uploading. How do you download? What do you think tanning is? Tanning is literally downloading. Simple concept. So now you're uploading and you're downloading, but you're putting plastic on your body, putting silicone under the layers of your skin. Like you're doing things that is stripping you from your crown. The next chakra is your third eye. This is associated to Venus. This is also associated to your medulla oblongata. Nah, it's associated to the various aspects of one's brain. But moreover, think of the frontal lobe. Think of like your third eye. Think of like what some would consider to be your conscious and altered state. That would be what your third eye associates to. They sometimes say Venus is associated to love. So the concept is you're supposed to see love. If you see love, your existence will be rewarding. You won't be bored. The whole concept of seeing is to simulate, is to stimulate. Most are bored in life right now. And they're bored in life because they boarded up themselves from love, from life. So the concept really is, can you see love? That's what they're talking about with these ideas and these messages and these concepts. It's human nature. It's understanding human nature. If you do not see love, you will be distracted by what people have attached love to: sex. So how do you distract a chakra? How do you distract a third eye? OnlyFans, Pornhub, X. That's how you distract a third eye. How do you distract a crown chakra? Forever 21. Makeup. Oh, he's a police officer. That's one costume. He's a judge. It's another costume. It's how these distractions work. Third chakra, associated to earth. Guess what you have on the power of earth? The power to speak, the power to be heard. This is why heart, earth, ear, EAR, ear. A voice to speak, an ear to listen. Third chakra, your throat chakra, earth. You are here to speak up. You are not here to be silenced. That's what happens when you die. Now, the reason why earth has the word heart in it, because earth is trying to remind you of where your heart is. It has the word heart in it, but that's when you rearrange letters. The first lesson earth is trying to tell you is ear. Speak and listen. When communication fails, war begins, which is the next chakra we're going to talk about. We already went to war with our heart. We already went to war on this next planet I'm about to talk about. But I want you to understand, this is extremely important. You need to speak up. You came here to Earth to speak up. No one wants to hear me, Q. Well, no, no one wants to hear you when you're walking around saying no one wants to hear you. I don't know what to talk about. Of course you don't know what to talk about when you're walking around saying I don't know what to talk about. If your first three words is I don't know, you already failed. How about I'm going to find out? Switch I don't know. So I'm going to find out. Just try it for like 1 week. Watch how much more information you get from I'm going to find out versus I don't know. When communication fails, war begins. And many of you are dealing with war in your quantum world right now. Meaning there are existences of you right now where you're at war. And the only way you're fixing those battles is here on Earth in this life. And let me ask you a question. Do you really feel like you're fixing your battles right now? Some of you do. Some of you are. But realistically, what the fuck are you doing? You really think you're helping the multiverse you? You really think you're helping your future? Where you're going to go once you don't have this body no more? I mean, I don't know. But it all starts with expression. So if you've limited your expression here, then unfortunately you're limiting your expression in what comes next. use your throat chakra. And don't use it just to be like Superhead. Next chakra. So I guess that'd be like your thorax, or I don't even know if that would be considered an organ per se. But you know, your throat, your tonsils, your diaphragm, all the things that are associated to one's voice. I want you to realize this isn't a stationary construct neither. Your third eye is also using your solar plex. You're not seeing life through one eye, neither is your chakras. I honestly want you to realize they all kind of have eyes. It's just certain chakras work with other chakras. The throat and the heart, that tends to be one that works more. Let's say this. I guarantee you, you speak more how you feel than what you think. Guaranteed. You have most definitely in your life spoke up more about what has happened to you on an emotional level than your thoughts. You don't think anyone cares about what you think, so you don't mention it. But you don't care if anyone cares about how you feel. This is how you feel. You go say to them, I hate you. I'm mad at you. I mean, we've done that. We've been there. We've expressed ourselves emotionally way more than we have intellectually. Not me. I've done more intellectual. But I want you to understand it's like a pairing system when it comes to these chakras. Your crown chakra and your root chakra, they are very, very friendly with each other. Your third eye and it's really your sacral chakra that it works with, which is Saturn. So that would be considered Venus and Saturn. Oh wow, ain't that Lilith and Lucifer? Oh, we got to 100 likes. Look at that. Thank y'all for staying balanced in the life. $ Q Reaves if you're feeling generous. Only ask for $1. Let's stay balanced in the life. I'm also offering regression therapy if any of y'all interested. And if y'all haven't had a regression with me yet, and y'all thinking about doing one like collectively, like me, my brother, me, my sister, whatever, reach out. I can try to work out something for y'all. All right, so let's keep going. So the heart chakra, the fourth chakra. The heart chakra associates to Mars. And Mars has been deserted, kind of signifying we deserted our hearts. But we didn't necessarily desert our hearts. They have been buried. Sand is a burying system. Same as ice. You ever hear the saying, turned into an ice box? My heart is cold. You know that saying? Well, here's what. You would rather it be warm, desert, than cold, frozen. When something is frozen, it's frozen in place, and there's not much life that continues when something is frozen. But there are numerous desert like civilizations. Now, yes, we know about the Eskimos. We're not talking about a one off. We're talking about there are numerous cultures that existed in desert like climates, meaning there's still life in the desert. So, although you might have deserted this heart space, there's still life there. It still can be uncover if you dig deep. Listen, y'all, say this with me. My mind is mine to mine. Say it with me. My mind is mine to mine. My mind. The fuck, it ain't yours. You can't tell me about me. It is my mind. My mind is mine. And I have every right to mind it and dig as deep as I need to uncover myself. The problem is they don't want y'all to remember that. But yet the words is right here. Mine, mine, mine. And if they try to access your mind, no, they may reach a mind. Just know when you're digging deep into your mind, you might hit a mind. A lot of schizophrenic people out here, right? A lot of people losing their mind, right? My mind is mine to mine, but carefully. Because if I'm not careful, I may hit a mind. The beautiful thing is, minds are pressure sensitive. If you apply the right pressure, nothing's blowing up. Crown chakra, remembering what you forgot. Third eye, processing what you forgot. Visualizing what you forgot. Throat chakra, speaking up what you forgot. Crown chakra, remembering my past lives. Remembering my other identities. Remembering. Whoa, that's why they keep records. Throat chakra, speaking what I remember. Third eye, actually bringing a vision to what I remember. Heart chakra, attaching an emotion to what I remember. Making sure that emotion isn't one that symbolizes desertion. Oh, I can't deal with that. Oh, that's just too hard for me to go through again. Solar plex. That's that which fuels or motivates you. I don't fucking know what fuels or motivates you. That's for you to decide. Is it money? Mm. Hopefully it's love. But your solar plex is your fuel system. It pays attention to what you feed it. Oh, McDonald's every day? Oh, okay. You don't cook for yourself? Ever? Oh, okay. Your solar plex is extremely important on what you introduce to it. It needs to have a balanced gut health. Aloe vera, probiotics, all of that. Ladies, you ain't shit in 3 days? Something's going on in your solar plex. Your power source is off. Fellas, you ain't shit in 3 days? Something's going on in your power source. One, you're too stressed. It's definitely what tends to happen to the power source. You stressed your power source out, your transmitter. You stressed your energy source. It's fluctuating. It's like a flickering light. That's what's happening to you right now. You ever seen a flickering light? It gets annoying, right? It gets annoying. Flickering light. Do you know you could be a flickering light? People don't want to be around you. You ever wonder why? I just don't know why people don't like me. I just can't be around people. They just don't like me. Your power source is off. You've put the wrong information there. You need to detox. Get off the phone for a week. Maybe that's what's wrong with you. Been on the internet too long. Add a little aloe vera in your life. Maybe you're drinking too much high C red 40. You strobe lighting right now. You hypnotizing people right now. You triggering people right now. That's what's happening. Animals won't come around you if your power source is off, just so you know. They could actually handle most of your other chakras being in balance, but when your sun, your solar plex, when your gut is not in order, animals get nervous around you. They may growl at you, they may hiss at you. They can tell something's wrong with your gut, your power source. Now I saw this comment. Oh, Jay McDonald, don't take the message away. It was a good message. The message was, I've had several books about chakras, and no one on the internet is talking about chakras this way. I know, because most aren't willing to take the information and process it through their own reality. They're waiting for someone to process reality for them and regurgitate someone else's process. Get your energy source together. Once you get your energy source together, you will realize you have the ability to take, let's just say, this symbol right here and turn it into a ruler, turn it into the letter I, turn it into a trigger finger, turn it into a wand, turn it into a phallus, turn it into the foundation of a right angle. I mean, you get what I'm saying. You have the power to be creative. That's all you're supposed to do. Take the power and make it yours. But people's energy sources ain't right. Basically, they've been tapped. They've been tapped. There's a monster there. There's a demon there that's feeding off of them. It's feeding off of them. Sacral chakra. You ready for this? Orange. This is what I call when they turn you into a Halloween. To wean something off of something, or to wean someone towards something. Let's look up the definition of wean. We have these words and we don't use them the right way. At least not to the way of knowing their true meaning. All right. The word wean. It is an old English word. Wow. This shit crazy. All right. The word wean means to believe, to think of, to suppose, to think you are hollow, to believe you are hollow. Halloween. What color is of Halloween? If you think of Halloween, what color comes to mind? Don't say black. We know that. What's the other color? Ooh, Halloween. What color comes to mind? Orange. What color is the sacral chakra? Orange. Sacral chakra is orange. Halloween is orange. Hold on, Q. You was talking about planets. So are you saying Mars is the heart? And if we can get back to Mars, we could jumpstart the heart. Is this why Elon is trying to get back to Mars? Because if you bring life back to the heart, you bring life back to the rest of the body. But we've heard this story before. Something that is false, something that is not genuine or true, getting access to the heart. So what happens if something artificial gets access to the heart? It's another conversation. So Mars is the heart. So then what would be the solar plex? Jupiter! Okay, Jupiter signifies the solar plex. Now this is a power source. This is why Jupiter, which is usually associated to Superman or Thor, the hero, the strength, the power. Jupiter signifies power, strength, Superman, Thor, power, strength, solar plex, good guys. Then you have Saturn, sacral chakra, time god, Chronos. Orange is the new black, huh? And what is that show about? Being locked in a box. Isn't Saturn often depicted as a forgot I was reading what was said, my bad. So Saturn, time. Do you know what you have been over time? Many different people. You don't remember. Time does. And time remembers your different identities. We call them IDs on this channel. Thank you so much, L. Ocean, for your give and receive. Thank you for being balanced in the life. Hard out here. I appreciate y'all. Time remembers your different identities, even when you forget. And the different identities of you are stored somewhere within your body. It's called your sacral chakra. And your sacral chakra, or time, is constantly trying to bring in your alters. This is why during Halloween you dress up as someone else. Because your sacral chakra is trying to always make you into someone else. It is constantly trying to pull you out of your heart space and making you instinctual. And an instinctual identity is animalistic. So, what does your sacral chakra store? The beast, the instinctual version of you. Of course, there's different identities, but the one that gets triggered by time is the beast. Thank you, Corey James. Thank you so much, family. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It's the beast. And the beast dwells in your guts, not your stomach, in your intestines, in your guts. Damn, let me get in your guts. That's the beast talking. Nickelodeon, Orange, by the way, had a show. Guts. Another show. What would you do? Another show. Are you afraid of the dark? When you start realizing everything is triggering you, well, then it becomes like a game. It's fun for me. I enjoy it. It's like a game. What today can I find in the mysterious world of the subconscious? And it's beautiful. Now, interesting enough, another thing that tends to store in one's guts is the para, meaning fire. Para is a Latin word meaning fire. Sight, the sight of fire. What does the devil represent? Fire. So what you would consider the parasite of the devil dwells in your guts. The whole concept is everyone has a beast, but most do not train their beast. Most allow their beast to run rampant. Beast mode. Mold. Like a cast. Why would they be casting or molding the beast? Because that's what you're doing. You're actually molding or crafting a beast. An instinctual version of you that needs to be calmed the fuck down. That needs to stop going so hard on people, so hard on yourself. It's a beast that needs to calm the fuck down. I'm gonna say it. Excuse my French, but you're so hard on yourself. That beast is kicking your ass. Remember the scene, Jim Carrey? Liar, liar. What are you doing? I'm kicking my ass. That's what the beast is doing to you, and you don't have to. You're doing this to yourself. You're allowing that little anger, that little rage to just spiral out of control, boil up. Another name for the devil is Vulcan, signifying a volcano, because there's an eruption this beast does within you. What Cash App is the real you? Let me show you. The other one's my son, by the way. My son ended up taking my name. That's my Cash App with the little blue suit. Blue suit, red tie. Blue suit, red tie. That's the Cash App. Thank you so much, Lori, for the giving receipt. Thank you for staying balanced in the life. Wolverine and Deadpool. You get it. You get it. Now, the Deadpool is signifying Tiamat, by the way, because the story is Tiamat's blood is what made the waters from fresh to salty. So the concept is it became a dead pool. And this dead pool created monsters. These monsters is, Deadpool would be one of these monsters. Wolverine would be a beast. So it's all showing these concepts. For sure. And this is the year of Wolverine. The game drops, by the way. We almost out of here. Thank y'all for being patient and staying for this live. I love y'all. All right. Your sacral chakra is sacred. Your beast is precious. It's not something to be. It's like you. It's, it's like your pet. It's precious. It's special. It's sacred. Let someone touch my fucking dog. But you don't treat your beast like that. You don't feed it with love like you would your pet. You let it express itself during moments of turmoil or anger, moments of lack, not gain. And if you truly understand what the Gnostics and all this stuff is talking about, there's dimensions of you, family. There's dimensions of you. The first dimension of you is a plant or a tree. This is why it's so easy for you to get rooted or stuck in your ways. Get lazy and just stand or just stay while life comes to you. You are seeing yourself as a tree, as a plant. Some of you are extremely horny. It's because you're into your plant self and you constantly getting pollinated. Get out of that version of you. That's just one dimension. There's more of you there. The next dimension of you is the animus or animal. It's the animal version of you. Second dimension. First dimension, plant. Second dimension, animal. Third dimension, an infusion of them both. A plant animal being. Plants have to survive off of light, by the way. No light, no life. There are animals that don't need light. There are creatures that don't need light. You are a combination of both. Of a vegan, Venetian, vegan, Vega, Venetian, Venus flytrap. Oh, wow. Doesn't that eat meat? You are part of the genetics of a banana, a plant. How much DNA do we share with a banana? You get it. You are a plant. You are an animal. The third dimension of you is the combination of both, in addition to your ancestors. That is the third dimension of you. Your ancestors, your animal, your plant. The fourth version of you is, in essence, what some would consider to be an angel or a demon. It is basically a form of intelligence that no longer has to express oneself through the modality of plants, animals, or visible light. You become what we call invisible light, a fourth dimensional construct. Do most stay as a fourth dimensional construct? No. Who the fuck wants to be invisible? No. You don't stay invisible. You either go back to a third dimensional construct or you become what we would consider to be etherical. Yes, fourth dimension will be plasma. You will be a plasmatic being. And not all plasma is seen. For example, the UV rays that are being picked up by solar panels are not being seen by the naked eye. There are aspects of plasma that are beyond the visible spectrum, like X-rays and things like that. So you become an invisible construct. Now, some of you stay invisible because you like to manipulate and be a watcher and be some of these other constructs, but some of you go ether, which means you resurrect as all of them. You do not have a separation between any of them. Another word would be quantum. 5. Quantum. Quin. Quan. Quin. 5. Fifth. And when you become a fifth dimensional being like Christ did, you remember everything. You remember your plant self and you talk to plants. You remember your animal self and you talk to animals. You remember your human self and can talk to the minds of humans. And you get to talk to angels or jinn or demons or things that operate in the invisible spectrum. As a fifth dimensional being, you're able to see all four spectrums, all four dimensions. It just can make you go a little crazy in a third dimensional plane. So a lot of people don't stay fifth dimensional. They enter a fifth dimensional state and then go back 3D. Yakub's ladder. You think the ladder is about going to higher planes and lowering yourself back here? Because if you stay in certain planes, like a fifth dimensional state, and there aren't enough fifth dimensional beings, you kind of can go crazy, lose your identity. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of information. Most guys want to stay plasmatic, invisible, and have tons of information. Okay, Jay McDonald, shouts out to 62-year-olds. Doesn't know a thing. Wow, love this live. Appreciate you. Stay balanced in the life. Hit that like button. $ Q Reaves if you're feeling generous. Now, the beast wants to be tamed. This is the whole concept of like the shepherd and the sheep. The sheep kind of also is a beast. It's just a tame beast. It's a herded or a herded beast. But the goal is for you to be the shepherd over your beast. And once you can tame your beast, and you tame your beast by not panicking, you tame your beast by adding more trust in your life. You tame your beast by decorating your beast. When you wear these different costumes and clothing and different things like that. But if you're, for example, when a police officer puts on that uniform, they are now training their beast in all the things that are associated with being a cop. Now you got good cops and you got bad cops. Good cops are training their beasts to do the right thing. Bad cops is training their beasts to slam people's face on the pavement, dislocate their arms, and some of the other crazy stuff that cops do. Good beast, bad beast. Balanced sacral chakra, imbalanced sacral chakra. Balanced gut, imbalanced gut. The cop is beating the shit out of someone, talking about it's a gut feeling, and the person's never had no charges. It's a damn judge. I've seen cops slam judges out of their car. Black judge, black women slammed on their car talking about you're not supposed to be in this neighborhood. You stealing? Dude, your whole instinct is off. Your whole gut feeling is off. You're supposed to be a cop. You don't even know. See the judge robe? She's wearing a judge robe. I literally watched that. I've watched police arrests, and I've watched these police do the most terrible job you can imagine. And the reason why they're so terrible is because their instinct is off. Their gut feeling is off. They've trained their beast the wrong way. Sacral chakra is very important. Your sacral chakra is very important. See the other ones, they have importance to them as well, but things things that tend to be lower to us have more importance. Things that are higher to us are kind of beyond our sight. Sure, it could be important to us, but not enough for us to see it. But the things lower to us is right here. It's low to us. It's right here with us. How to train your dragon or beast. The sacral chakra is always screaming, "Who am I?" Let me help you with that. Crown chakra. What makes me worthy? That's what your crown is always asking you. What makes me worthy? And sure, you could just say a bland statement like love. Love is expressed in many different ways. So you need to be a little more detailed than that. You're here for details, not for simplicities. You understand the simplicities once you transition. But your crown chakra is saying, why am I worthy? Your third eye is saying, what am I seeing? Your throat chakra is saying, what should be said? Your heart chakra is saying, why am I feeling this way? Your solar plex is saying, who can I help? Your sacral chakra is saying, who am I? Saturn. You ever thought about that? Why the fuck is time worrying about who he is? Because what would time be without us? What would time be if we didn't even care about it anymore? Who cares what time you get there? Who cares what time it is? Who cares about time? What if we did that? What would time be? Time wouldn't have an identity. Time wouldn't even know itself. Your root chakra is asking, why am I here? If you don't think your feet is always moving with its own agenda of discovering why I'm here, you ain't that in tune with your body. Chakras. It's an interesting system. Shouts out to Montgomery. Chakras. Artist Future said, would you say time is a form of a god? Well, what I will say is when we start to use religious terms, always figure out how to have a word associated to it that can be applied in your life. So sure, you can say the word God can be applied in your life, but only from a religious stance. If we take religion out, how do you use the word God? You really can't. So the word God to me on my journey doesn't just mean God. It means guide. 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 A God can be a guide. Shit. God is my ultimate guide. I'm okay with that. God is guiding me. Guide. So now if we change the word from God to guide, here's where the question becomes, or here's what the question becomes. Would you say time is a form of a guide? Hell yeah. How many people are being guided by time? They bills, they relationships, all of it. All of it. I would say time is one of the most influential gods or guides in today's times. Great question. Great question. My right knee been hurting for almost a year. You should look into regression therapy. I had a client who had gout in his right foot. Was a wealthy individual. Went through all these different modalities to try to heal his gout. Eventually, he went to go to acupuncture. And the person who did the acupuncture was in Nashville. She does this in a salt cave. I've been before. It's an incredible experience. If any of y'all want to go to Nashville and experience this together, we can. Or Gatlinburg. I'm trying to figure out some way we could do something together. He goes to Nashville. She does the acupuncture to him. And then she tells him she feels that there's an energy trapped in his foot. So he looking at her like, what's that mean? And she was like, it's something that only people who deal with the mind can figure out. So he was like, so what am I supposed to do? She says, you need to go see a hypnotist or a regressionist. He's like, what the hell? Okay, fine. So he goes, sees a hypnotist, and he can't get hypnotized. So he's like, that ain't gonna work. So he ends up reaching out to a regressionist, me, all right? So now he's reaching out to me. He's like, bro, I got this gout. I don't know what the heck's going on. What should we do? Well, anyway, we regressed him, and we found out through him. So this is how it works. I basically will guide you into, let's just say, a memory. It could be something as easy as you remembering the last thing you ate. All right, boom, I got this memory. I remember the last thing I ate. The next thing I'll do is I have you like imagine something. From that, your imagination will guide you somewhere. And it ended up guiding him to a tree in New Orleans. This tree in New Orleans, he says, I've been here before. What the hell? All right, white guy. What the hell? I remember this tree. I'm like, all right, what is this tree? He was like, well, in 2015, I was in New Orleans. There was this big old conference. I went to the conference. I then went to the park. I fell asleep by the park. I think I actually fell asleep by the tree. So I'm like, all right, so you fell asleep by this tree. He was like, yeah. I said, all right, well, I want you to recreate it. All right, the whole thing. I want you to act like you falling asleep by the tree once again. He's like, all right, I'm by the tree. He falls asleep in the session. When he falls asleep in the session, now he sounds like this. A voice takes over. Oh, what is going on here? This just don't seem right. Who who is you? Where am I? It sounds like an old southern black slave coming through this white man. And I'm like, what the is going on? So now he's like, my name is Samuel. I'm from 19th Parish. And he start talking through this white man. He telling me he a slave from the 1656 and that he done had his foot cut off from trying to escape the Underground Railroad. I'm listening. I'm like, what the hell? So anyway, we find out my client is housing a slave from the 17th century that got his foot cut off and is projecting his pain into my client. And that is what the gout is. So anyway, so I bring Kevin back, and Kevin's now talking to Samuel, and Kevin's like, what the hell is this? And Samuel like, what the hell is you, white man? And then Kevin talk about he done seen reality from the white man, and the white man talk about he done had dreams from Kevin, and I mean dreams from Samuel. Kevin talk about he done had all these dreams about being an old black slave, and he couldn't figure out where the dreams came from. But the dreams came from him being attached to the spirit. So now the spirit's attached to him. He attached to the spirit. They quantumly entangled. He moving around with the damn pain from the gout. Anyway, once we figured out what was going on, because at the end of the day, it's all about expression and lack of communication. As soon as the slave was able to be acknowledged, be heard, be acknowledged and felt, it was able to move on. It was able to move on. And in that, he didn't have gout no more. Gout gone. Pew! So some of the ailments we dealing with in our bodies, some of the ailments we dealing with in life right now are attachments. They're not even your own. And they don't even mean to hurt you. It's its own pain. It's its own pain. It's not trying to hurt you. A demon may not even be trying to hurt you. It's hurt itself. These are attachments that the universe needs help with. These are demons that God is asking you to help exercise. And it ain't going to be in the blood of Christ and be gone, vengeful spirits. We don't need more of that. It's really going to be, can you be a receiver? And then once you receive it, can you get that rock to the end goal? Quarterback, receiver, touchdown. Quarterback, receiver. You ain't the quarterback in this. Something threw this to you. That's the universe. The universe being the quarterback right now. And the universe is trying to find its people it can it can depend on so that we can win. For the win. Touchdown. Good question, Elo Shun. So was Kevin a slave in the past or just a spirit that attached to him? Well, when you start dealing with quantum mechanics, who's to say Kevin and Samuel aren't the same person? Wouldn't you want to heal yourself? Imagine if you was a slave and you idolized white folks, and now because you were murked by a white man, you've earned an existence in the future where you're a spoiled white man. Rich, spoiled white man. You wanted to be white so much. You wanted to be your oppressor so much. You are bound to be your oppressor. Quantum mechanics is interesting, and regression therapy can help y'all see this. Regression therapy is the ultimate tool of expression. You're just going to have to be able to get to the layers of you. But I got to get out of here. I've been on this live a little longer than I expected to. I'm going to get out of here. Let me pause though. Thank you so much, Miss Brown. Thank you so much, Alexis and McDonald. Thank you so much, family, for this give and receive. Thank you for being super balanced in the life. I greatly appreciate it. Corey, thank you. Tara, thank you. Sunflower, thank you. Don't go. Listen, we're getting there. I'm really trying to set up where I can do like 3-4 hour lives. I'm setting it up. I am setting it up. I've been getting hit left and right with some bull. So I've been working on it. But we getting there. We getting there. Jay McDonald. Did I not read the name? I mean, I read. No, McDonald. McDonald. Jay McDonald. No, I got it. That's what I'm saying. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And Callaway. Tina, thank you. I got you. I got you, Black Obsidian. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. You on point, Q. My pleasure. We on point. We on point. Anytime you're willing to take an idea and add a nuance to it, we're on point. Do not allow this information to just stay surface. Start having fun with spirituality. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be so religious. Start having fun with religion. Demon, a demanding energy. God, a guiding energy. Lord, an energy that has a lore attached to it. What does lore mean? It's like a story. It's like a fable. It's like a tale. Lore. Lord. Follow the Lord, the lore, the story. Find a good guide to help you in this existence. Be careful of demanding spirits, because they can demand from you when you may not be in a position to take demands. Thank you, Nana. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. You're a fine teacher. My first time meeting someone with your energy. I'm impressed. Thank you. Thank you. I'm genuine. I'm genuine. When we sit here and we snake our neighbors, snakes end up in our own backyard. When you sit there and take advantage of your neighbors, of the people to the left and right of you, you will eventually get taken advantage of. You're exposing them to being taken advantage. You get it? It's a simple concept. We breathe the same air. We're breathing the same air. I wish negativity upon you. I will eventually breathe in that same thought. Why would I want to sabotage myself? Sabotaging you is sabotaging me. Hurting you is hurting me. But only fifth dimensional beings truly understand this. But we can't stay fifth dimensional. How do you heal those in the fourth? You get it. You get it. If those of us who stayed in the fifth dimension, we will continue accelerating. And if we continue accelerating, I want you to think of it like this. You got a world, and everyone is on horses and carriages, and then you have certain individuals flying around on spaceships. How do we relate? How do we relate? How do we be in the same world? We can't. Now, I may not be able to sit here on horse and carriage with you because that's too slow. But I'm going to be on a bike. I'm going to be on a bike. And you may be 18th century, never seen a bike before. But I'm right here with you. I'm just not on horse and carriage with you. I'm on a bike. But I'm right here with you. Here's another analogy. You kind of starting off from this. This is your starter whip, $5,000 car. You know, when you first get 16, 17 years old, your parents may help you out. You may have saved up some money. You got the $5,000 Honda with 180,000 miles on it. And I'm in a Porsche. Now, I might be able to speed up and get ahead of you a little bit more, but there's a speed limit. There's a speed limit. I'm right on the same road with you. That's what I want us to understand. Sure, I might have earned the Porsche of knowledge, but you're on the same road as me. And you have people who think they're better than you because I'm in the Porsche and you're in the Honda. We're both in a car. We're both in motion. It's the people who think they're better than you need to get the fuck away from. Let them go ahead on the road. There you go. I ain't even. You got it. I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna stop at the yellow light. That's it. It's okay. Society tells you you need to be the Porsche. No, no, no. You need to be you. If you're in the Honda, appreciate the Honda. In order to get the Porsche the right way, you have to appreciate the Honda. Now, there's some who are able to get the Porsche, but please know it crashes. You may not know when or where, but oh, it crashes. I ain't crashing. Not at all. Living my best life. Even when I'm potentially financially or physically not in the position I was in yesterday. I'm chilling. So just know that. That's it. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Okay? We're on the same road. Guess what else is on this road with us? Chipmunks, deer, squirrel. The sun, the air. It's a lot with us on this road. Start paying attention. Your life would be so much better if you roll your windows down. Your life would be so much better if you roll your windows down. If you really enjoyed a breath of fresh air. I love y'all. Till next time.